What's up, Jones Bones? It is your girl, Unitedly Random, and today I am opening up Secrets of Tarot. I got this for $10 at Barnes and Noble. I don't know why that makes me giggly, but I'm very excited to have this deck because I don't know if you guys can tell already, but the cards have a lot of keywords underneath them, and so I feel like this might be a really good deck for a beginner. You guys know that I love to pull out the book. I love to check, and I feel like I'm still in a learning stage, even though most of the time I do read tarot cards from what do they call it? Not from the book, but intuitively. Yeah, I read intuitively a lot of the times, but I thought that it would be fun to go ahead and unlock the mysteries of tarot and discover what lies ahead with this right here. Now, before we get any further, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be releasing this on a Tuesday. So I just want to point out that T&T Tuesday is still a thing. Even if no one else is doing it, I'm going to come out of nowhere and I'm going to do it. So I think that this is pretty much me coming out of nowhere and doing it. I quite enjoy it. I like the idea of opening up decks. You can always open up a good deck on a good T&T Tuesday. At least in my opinion. If you guys want to know more about T&T Tuesday, this is actually a thing that V, Love, and Crystal started a long while ago. And the information will be in the description box because I really don't have a bit of information to give you right now, but definitely check out other T&T Tuesdayers, and tell them that Alia sent you if this if you did go and see. Anyway, let's go ahead and open up this deck right after this intro.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
And we are back. Hello. Did you like the intro? Also, do you guys have any ideas of content you would like to see on my page? I kind of do a little bit of everything. So this deck comes with a little book, and it also comes with the deck. I said this deck comes with a little book, and it also comes with the deck. I didn't expect the book to be so, I don't know, skinny. Like, this is my first thought of everything. This book is skinty. But, let me look. I mean, it's in color. It has, reading. Ooh. And it also shows how they used it in a reading. Interesting. I really enjoy how they did that. Secrets of Tarot. I'm gonna have to read this book. Mostly because it's such a tiny book, I can knock this out in a day. And I look forward to doing so. And so here's the deck. Now, last time I did an unboxing video, I told a story as I looked at the cards. And I liked that, I don't know. I was like, wow, why haven't I been doing this, doing it this way, from the beginning? So today I have decided that I will too tell another story starting from the good old, wait 1 second. It starts with the Ace of Cups. The deck starts with the Ace of Cups. It doesn't start with the Fool. So, starting with the good old Ace of Cups. And I'll try to use, the way I do it is I try to use a keyword on each of the cards to tell a story that maybe it might resonate with, oh goodness, it might resonate with you guys. If you don't want to hang around for the story and you just want to look at the cards, put me on mute because I can talk a lot. I'm sorry. The cards aren't gilded and they feel very flexible, very interesting back. I quite enjoy the back. It's you know, it's giving. It's giving something. And so let's go ahead and get started. So we have the Ace of Cups starting off with security and helping hand. So I guess I'm going to tell a story about how I received help in my life. Okay? So, back when me and Stuart first got together, this was right after I had my mental breakdown. I was very unstable, I will say, because I had just went through the celebration. You see, we're getting into that. I just went through the celebration of finding out I was pregnant. But I was offered something by the universe that I was unsure if I really wanted, because we did not know who the baby father was. This is kind of messy. We did not know who the baby father was. And because of that, I felt like all hope was lost. But in reality, I kind of dodged a bullet, because the other man that was in our relationship, me and Stuart, have a very kind of open, thirple, I don't know how to explain it. We kind of poly relationship. The other man in that relationship, kind of gave me vibes of being like a what do you call it, a you know, the relationship that never quite works out, but sometimes it does. A twin flame. He was like a twin flame, right? And instead of having a happy house, he brought back up more issues. So all that glitters is not gold in this situation. There was a lot of issues within the relationship, and I had to learn to turn my back on that relationship, because nothing more could be done to better the relationship, because it was so twisted. And once I went ahead and ended that relationship, not with Stu, but with my other person, I definitely felt more pleased. And that was the signifying, or it was the signal of improvements happening inside of my life. And it was the signal that said that, you know, even though I didn't know it at the time, it was the signal that I would have my moment of rejoice. I would find my happiness on earth. So I was young, you know, I was a young girl. It says young woman about 25, and I was a little bit younger than 25, but getting ready to be 25. And it was during the pretty much during the time of being 22 to 25. This is the journey that we're going to really be talking about. And I met Stu, and he was, you know, between the ages of 21 and 25 during this story. And Stu found me when I needed some good news, and I found him where he needed more confidence, if I can say so myself. And I think the reason why we both needed some help is because we in a way needed some motherly energy in our life. We needed some support, or even honestly the King of Cups in our life, a gentle and emotional male that could help guide us in some type of way, because we were kind of lost and trying to figure out what we wanted in life and how we were going to get it. And so we needed some parental support in an emotional manner, not necessarily parental support in the, I want to say, the emperor and the empress, because that seems more, it seems more precise. It seems more my way or the highway in this thing, but we needed more emotional support and we were unable to tap into that. So we were kind of licking each other's wounds. And through licking each other's wounds, we started a new beginning. It was the death of a relationship. It was the death of a child, but it was a new beginning nonetheless. And I mourned the loss of my child quite heavily because I had been wanting to be a mother for a long time, probably not necessarily for good reasons. I think I just wanted family, and through telling and being very open about the abuse that I received as a child, I ruined being able to go back to the family that honestly raised me my entire life. But delays will prove necessary. And me and Stu went ahead and we got married, the Hierophant. And the reason that me and Stu got married is because Stu wasn't able to go to college because he needed some paperwork from his mom, and his mom wasn't able to do it for whatever reason. And he was going on his second year of having to not be able to go to college. And if you're married, you're independent. And so that I brought it up. I was like, hey, why don't we go ahead, just get married? You'll be independent. Like that was my only answer that I could come up with because I didn't have a lot of information. Later on, his sister-in-law was like, hey, if you just came to me and told me, I would have been able to help you. But yeah, we got married because Stu needed to be able to go to school. He needed to be considered an independent. And during that, we kind of still settled on this idea that we're still going to soul search within our own right. So when we got married, we said, hey, even though we're married, if the opportunity arises, I'm still getting on a plane and going to a different country. And during that time, we need to work on ourselves, right? We're working together right now, but there's going to be a time where when I go somewhere else, you can't just, go back to who you used to be. You have to continue to work on yourself while I'm working on myself. And we're doing all of this to better our relationship, which, by the way, that's a situation that is coming up recently. If all goes well. And we come upon the judgment card. I'm really just going all over the world, just talking, because the judgment card makes me think about how the decision pending finality, the only decision that can be made under these circumstances. We really believe that getting married was the only decision that we can make that would help us, because justice, legal document, once he had that legal document saying that we were married, he was immediately able to go to school. And I think that really helped our marriage. It really helped us build romance within our relationship, because even before, I think we were just like, we were friends that loved each other, and now we've grown to be family, because we're in a loving relationship that we are sharing as friends. And like, I feel like when I was getting in a relationship, I was like, hey, I don't just want a relationship where we're just in together because we're in love. I want a relationship where we're working together and we're growing together. And so that's how I view love. And Stu is a divine wish being granted. I think sometimes it's hard, but it's like there's this idea that I have to juggle two of pentacles, where it's like I always had this belief that me and Stu, to a certain extent, were meant to be together. We dated in high school, we broke up, and now we found ourselves again. And I believe that even if me and Stu didn't work out right now, we would find ourselves at a later time. Like, we're still going to be in each other's lives as long as we are alive. And I think that no matter what, we are in a growing journey together. So I think that getting together early just meant that, as this card says, improvements are underway, but delays are around it. So getting together early might have, in a way, affected our relationships, gave us more issues that we had to deal with, which those are the delays, but improvements are still being made. We're still working together. I don't think that it was bad of us to get together so early or get married so fast, because even if we got married fast, and even if we have like some delays, there's so much abundance that I feel that this relationship can bring to the both of us on its way. And I think that meeting Stuart was definitely my coming in from the cold moment. It was definitely a sign from the universe that I deserve love, even if I could be a hard person to love at times. And it also taught me that I think, because it says raise in money or salary, and I'm talking about like life. Oh, it taught me how easily two people can like make a home. So getting together, combining our incomes, and like working together on a house, it makes me feel like this level of security. Of course, I have currently been without work, but before I stopped my job, I saved up a lot of money so that I wouldn't necessarily be a complete drain on the family. But at that time, I was working really hard on trying to get my degree, and Stu is still currently working. I got my degree, but Stu is still currently working on his degree. And it was just a period of just work, work, work. And then you guys know that that the coronavirus happened. So we were working, we were working, we were working. Stu lost his job, and I started working, and it was good, like I have to say, I didn't lose any in it. Like, I don't know, I didn't lose anyone during the COVID times, and that's a blessing in and of itself. Because during that time, I really was content financially. Those COVID checks was looking kind of nice. Me and Stu were hanging out with a pair of friends, young friends that we have met in the past. So like Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Pentacles, and they had a little bit of money, and so we went on trips with them, and we were able to travel. And that was really great for our relationship and just learning about the world even more. And also during that time, we've met like other people. So I remember like the roommate that we had that tried to steal my PlayStation, um, and the other roommate that we had, I'm thinking woman and man, but the other roommate that we had that actually his dog got attacked by the other roommate's dog. Just like people in general popping up, but he was pretty they were about that business, you know what I'm saying? Were these two? No, 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 no. That was a night. But throughout that situation and COVID and everything, I found my strength, you know. I stepped into my inner self. I confronted my mother about some things, and then, you know, Ace of Swords, the double-edged sword, I cut my family completely out of my life, which, you know, double-edged sword. It's good, it's bad, you know, it hurts, it's sad, but it is also what I needed at that time. And after I cut my family out of my cut my family out of my life, I was really unstable, hard to find balance, hard to find the peace and harmony that I thought cutting them out would immediately give me. But it was because I needed to take the blindfold off. You know, we always have this belief that once we walk away from frustration, and once we walk away from the people who gave us our broken heart, that everything was going to be a-okay. Like, if I walk away from you because you gave me a broken heart, okay, now I'm better. But the reality is, you know, you're still sick. You still need to take the time to rest and recuperate. And I was so frustrated because I felt like I was so lost because I thought that I would be able to have everything. And in reality, I wasn't as lost as I thought I was. I still had, you know, options, and I still had, you know, these other things that I could focus on, but I was just like, you know, I cut the people who hurt me out of my life. I should be good now. And I kind of felt like, well, damn, I cut people out of my life for what? Like, now I'm lonely. And I kind of like, we got the Six of Swords, and I'm looking at it. Turn boat out of troubled waters into calmer waters. I kind of neglected to really realize that this is what I was doing. I was taking myself out of the troubled waters to put myself in the calm waters. That doesn't mean that there wasn't still swords in my boat. You know what I mean? And once I started to like plan, around this time I started to really get into manifestation. I've always believed that manifestation is real. I always believed there's a lot to the universe that we don't know, but I started to actually script. I started to write out what I wanted. I started to write out what I needed from the universe. And there was this idea that I had to do that because I felt bound by my situation. I felt gagged by my situation. And so I was manifesting. I was calling to a higher power to help me out because I was like, this is all I can do at this point. I was definitely frustrated. I was definitely afraid because I I knew that I felt better nowadays, but I was just hurting. This card made me really emotional because even though I was on my healing journey, I still wasn't letting go of the emotions because I felt like I was mourning my family, like there was a death that happened. But the problem with mourning a death that never happened is you do it continuously. I think sometimes I wish, not like I want them to die, but sometimes I guess I wish that my mom was gone, because if my mom was gone, um, I don't have to, reflecting back over your shoulder, I don't have to look back at the memories and then constantly be aware of how we're both alive in this world, and I don't think she really cares if I'm alive in this world, if that makes sense. I mean, whenever I think about that, whenever I think about, like, does my family care if I'm existing or I'm succeeding in life, I'm also reminded about the times when I was at my lowest and I let my mom know, and she kind of responded to go ahead and finish myself off. Like, go ahead and do it. And so I said that because it's the Knight of Swords and it says finish. But it is the reality. That was the reality of what my mom said to me. And growing up, my mom was always cold and hard, and she was always demanding authority. Quite frankly, she was scary. And she was cold and abrasive at times. And I always felt like I was testing the waters. Day by day, I was testing the waters with her. And it was like we were polar opposites in the way that we acted, which, I mean, it's a given. You don't have to be exactly alike as your child, but we were polar opposites in morals and like the things that we would think. And because we were polar opposites, instead of it being like a happy-go-lucky journey where we could help each other along the way, we butted heads. And mostly I feel like my mom butted heads with me because I wasn't like my brother or like my sister. I wasn't very complacent to certain things. And I still had an opinion even though I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. And that really changed in the household as we grew up, because I realized that to a certain extent, my little sister was able to, the devil, break the chains of fear that my mother had tried to instill in us as we were young. But I think that she was able to break the chains more easily because when she came into my mother's life, my mom was more stable. I think mentally stable, financially stable. She was married to my dad. And so a lot of my sister's young memories are attached to a father that she grew up with. So there's a stability with that. And I'm very happy that she was able to grow up with a father figure, and so she had a level of stability, and my father was very protective over her. One time my little sister got in trouble for talking too much in school, and my mom, she didn't even like beat her. It wasn't with a switch or anything, but she took the plastic folder that my sister had and she like popped her in the mouth with it, and it bursted like a blood vessel or something in my sister's mouth, and her lips swelled up so big. And my mom would tell the story and kind of laugh about it, about how my dad was so angry with my mom that he was like, you better not touch her again and stuff like that, which, I'm very happy that my sister had that growing up. Is also, I did not have someone like that growing up. And I don't know if my sister will ever understand how important her having that father figure that actually cared about her growing up. And he grew, like, you know, he helped raise her. He grew up with her, and she was the baby as well. So I'm very happy though that she did have that. And nowadays, I kind of look back at that relationship with my sister, and I do a lot of like deliberating. I'm trying to figure out like what that's going to turn into, and I wish I had all of the answers, but you know, I'm trying to look at things from my sister's point of view and looking at it from different angles. And I just don't know what's going to become of that relationship, because I think that to a certain extent, we don't understand each other as well as we should, and we don't communicate. And I wish that we communicated more, but you can't talk to yourself no matter how much you want to. Last time I talked to my sister, a lot of secrets were revealed. And I don't know if that made her uncomfortable, but I revealed a lot of secrets about things that she had no idea about. And I just kind of put it on her. And she hasn't been back. I think I scared her away. It was probably like the surprise. We got the element of surprise. The surprise that things weren't always so good, and there were so many things that she just did not know about going on in the household, going on throughout the relationships and stuff like that. And I understood, but I was like tired of like, and it says maybe deceiving yourself or others emotionally. I was tired of like holding back and her not knowing, and like me in my head, like the family paints me to be the bad guy, which I guess, you know, telling your family business publicly isn't gonna make you the good guy. But I was tired of this idea that everything was my fault, and I wanted her to know the things that were going on behind the scenes. And I had hoped that this would help our relationship, because she would finally see where I was coming from. But I also told myself, don't be too greedy. You don't know where this is going to go. And I'm happy that I told myself, the sun, it says happy. I'm happy that I told myself to not get too greedy, because I didn't know where this was going to go. Because, like, it didn't really go anywhere. I don't know if she thinks about me. I let her know a little while ago that I had some things happening with me pretty soon, and I would be going like out of the States. And she was like, okay. And so I was just like, oh, well, that it is what it is. But oh, overseas trip. I said I was going out of the States. Yeah, I'm supposed to be getting ready to go to another country for work, to teach English. So it's a new opportunity. I've done a lot of healing. The world is at the palm of my hands, but I am a little nervous. I am a little anxious, because last time I went overseas, for those who don't know, I lived in South Korea for 1 year. Last time I went overseas, that was definitely a tower moment. Everything kind of turned upside down. There were so many accidents, so many things happening at lightning pace. During that year, I want to say, I had people that I thought I was friendly with turn on me. During that year, I was attacked in South Korea, and during that year, I had two different co-teachers, so things were changing, and my principal and my vice principal left, and we got new principals and vice principals, and that was around the same time that I had gotten attacked, and the school got involved, and police got involved about this man who attacked me, who supposedly had Alzheimer's. And during that time as well, my birth mother died. And also past the point of my birth mother dying, my adoptive mother found out that my adoptive brother molested me as a child. And that was a lot. That was a lot of things like happening all at once. And during that time, I was so lost. But through that chaos, birthed a new beginning in my life. Like I had to fall for my sanity. I had to fall so that I could go ahead and start working or take that. I had to fall when I was younger. I had to fall during that time. This is about 2018, 2017 or so. I had to fall during that time so I could take this short journey to where I am right now, instead of being a person that was suffering with all of the issues that I was hiding from myself my entire life. So I had to know. I had to see everything fall apart. I'm hard-headed. And now I'm looking around and surveying my kingdom. I'm surveying what I've done in life, and I've gotten a lot done in life. And I'm TikTok star, 60,000 followers on TikTok, subtle flex. I'm doing something and I'm very happy. I have a very happy home and I feel stability that I've never really felt growing up, at least not for long. And even though me and Stu will still have our arguments and, we'll still have our hard times. I also still feel like I'm doing a victory lap, if that makes sense. Because now, unlike before, when I was younger and I was debating taking my own life, now I know that I can overcome these obstacles that seem so big. And, as long as I keep moving, and as long as I take it second by second, until I can take it minutes by minutes, until I can take it hours by hours, until I can take it days by days, things happen so quickly. Even though 3 years might not seem like it's quickly, it happens so quickly. And now I'm at this point in life where I'm still a little undecided on what I want to do in life and where I want to go and who I want to be. I think that I kind of avoid really sitting down and planning everything out, because that's a very heavy load. And I'm like, look, I want to enjoy this celebration a little bit more. But I know that a part of my story is to travel, to get out and explore, and and maybe while I'm traveling, I'll meet an important part of my story. Or at least I'll be able to start a new chapter. And so nowadays I feel very positive, very fiery, very outspoken in ways that I wish I could have been as a child. But I think that leads me to be a little bit more ambitious. And now I'm like very much so like restless. I'm like, what's next? What's next? And it's really amazing to have this like eagerness for life, because like I said before, I almost gave up on it. I had to go through that short journey to get to this point. And now we reached the Wheel of Fortune, which is saying elevation of money, overseas trip, and a completion of phases. And I can say that all of that has come together to complete one phase of my life. And I hope that you guys will be around for the next phase. Much love and positive vibes. And yeah, we completed a phase. So Yeah, I don't know what else to say. Like, I feel like we went all the way around the world, but it got really deep. Like, I was over here, tearing up in the eyeballs. Maybe this is something that people will listen to while they're sleeping and just hear a little bit of my story, and maybe it can give you some inspiration in your life. Hopefully, it could give you some inspiration in your life. So, yeah.